Moving on to the next sad and embarrassing display, like related to the Havana Syndrome Relief Act, the other thing that was just like absolutely just shitting over everyone this week was all of the debate over should we continue to fund Israel's fucking Iron Dome quote unquote self defense system to the tune of $1 billion as part of our budget negotiations, and of course AOC crying over the fact that she voted present instead of no. I mean, what a fucking humiliating spectacle this all is, because it's like that $1 billion is on top of all the other money we already give to Israel to protect themselves from firecrackers, and it's just like we cannot do the barest amount to even fill potholes for any American in this country without also being like, oh, Israel's worried about the rockets. They need the money for the dome. They've got to have the dome. And then, I don't know, and then what do you make? Like AOC crying over this. It's like, oh, who are you, Jordan Peterson? I mean, fuck up. This is politics here. You can't let people see you cry. And also, it's just like, why did she vote present anyway? Like, the bill was going to pass regardless.
I mean, I don't know why she did it, but the thing is, though, is that the crying is the politics.
Yeah.
Like yo, I look at how sad this is making me that I have to do this. Don't you feel bad for me? And then you're not supposed to even think about what the actual issue was. Like, this is the new crying based political strategy for avoiding any real accountability from voters by just making them feel too bad for you to say anything about anything you do.
Did you, I mean, like, I thought that, but then I saw her amazing statement on this. Did you see?
I did. It was baffling.
So her reasoning for voting president and crying is that communities didn't have enough time to be consulted about this.
There's that word that
I don't know what community. I don't know. Like, consulted how? Like, who? What the fuck are you talking about? Why even say that?
Communities.
Her, like, yeah. So Pelosi goes up to her. She immediately starts bursting into tears. And I have to say, credit to K-Hive. AOC equals always on camera. Hilarious. I mean, you know, when you're right, you're right. But immediately starts crying, votes present. Jamal Bowman votes yes. Taleb, Omar vote no. Then, like, within hours, she's like, I see you. I hear you. If you think I'm a coward, I understand. But what happened was I was shit. I came to the house 4 years ago to try to be the best person that I wanted to be. I was told that I wouldn't have time to talk to communities about this. That's the main thrust of what I got of her, like, 12-paragraph statement. What in the world are you talking about?
What community in America gives a fuck about Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system, or even knows about it to begin with?
This doesn't even prevent Israel. Do people think the Iron Dome goes out of business if we don't pass this? Israel has a GDP of nearly $500 billion. They could sell Mali for one afternoon and fully fund this fucking thing. What community are you fucking talking about? Thomas Massey, that psycho, was like, no. Why can't you do that? What the fuck is the point then?
Communities.
If it takes that little. Like, okay, I heard, there were rumors that it was like, oh, we'll redistrict you if you vote no. Okay, then why vote present? What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, the whole thing's very odd.
But just the fact that, like, that this $1 billion Iron Dome gift certificate is part of these negotiations about, like, just simply, like, infrastructure in America or passing a budget is like what a fucking insult. Once again, what an insult to every actual American, every fucking tax-paying citizen of this country. Like, what the fuck? They don't need this shit. They can fund it themselves. And then, like this is the negotiating point. Like I said, to lower prescription drug prices even by a fraction is impossible to do. That's impossible to do. But just giving another $1 billion to Israel is like, oh, that is sacrosanct. You can't even vote no against that.
No, and it will, I mean, if you vote yes on this, if you crumble like AOC did, then nothing's ever going to be fucking enough for these people. Do you think Israel's a fucking poor country? This is them. They're not asking for $1 billion for this. which, by the way, does not just encompass the Iron Dome. They're asking for it not because they're out of money. They can't issue bonds. They can't add a one-time special tax on trilby hats for women. They're doing it for the same reason that the CIA is going to Congress and asking for money for more guns, because they want to dab on you. They want to see you on the ground with your nose pressed into the pavement and do the fucking T-pose over you. And what did AOC did? She fucking cried. This was going to pass anyway. There is no real mainstream position in electoral politics that is even, not even like anti-Zionist, just, let them pay for it themselves. Just one thing. Is over $3 billion a year not enough? There's nothing like that. It's just this. It's just, sorry.
Just like anytime you want to spend even a dime of public money on the American public, it's like, no, too much. Oh, everything has to be offset. Oh, we need to means test everything. Oh, I'm just worried about the price tag on this. But, fucking just a gift, just an Amazon gift certificate for Israel to continue their unneeded, totally spurious fucking self-defense system that probably doesn't work anyway. And by the way, the people defending it saying it saves Israel and Palestinian lives, really good. I really love to hear that.
Yeah, but if they don't have the dome, then they're going to have to just go into Gaza and kill people there. Imagine if they did that.
Oh, yeah, they'd feel bad. They'd have to make more movies about how bad it makes them feel. And then it's just people just living in misery. You go to a place like LA or San Francisco, just people living outside. And it seems like every 3 months, Israel's like, we need $450 million for a rave for veterans. And we're like, okay.
Well, there you go. It's the dabbing on us will continue until morale improves. I think that's basically what's going on here. All right. Moving on. Last thing.